My son was killed June 22nd, 2004. He was part of something called Task Force Tacoma. The day after 9/11, he said, I have to do something. I can't let this happen. This is my country. We cannot allow this to happen again. He was very brief to thank, and he enlisted with the National Guards, thinking that he would be here within the state or the nation to help out if in case of another catastrophe, natural or not. But we know the rest. There was the backdoor draft and the guards were deployed. He was my only child. And now there is no one to call me mom. I have 2 beautiful grandchildren. I'm grateful for that. We need to be there, not just for the veterans, but also for their families. I plan to do that until the day I die. But what about the vet who have nobody to be their advocate? What happened to them? How many fall in the cracks and never return? I had a veteran, his name is John. I got a phone call, and he was in tears. He said, can you help me? I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. He was in Sacramento. And I say, okay, John, don't stay exactly where you are. I'm sending someone to pick you up. Less than an hour later, he was at my house. He just walked in, and he fell apart. I had to hug him for about 5 minutes. He came back from Iraq. He wanted to put back his jeans on, go back to work, take care of his family, be home again. Didn't work. He had PTSD, he was wounded, wasn't treated properly, he started to drink, he lost his job, then another job, his wife left, he lost his house. He ended up living in his car. And then his car was impounded, and then he called me. I kept him at the house for months, and we took his affair from the beginning up. He had problems with the police because of his drinking. We took care of that. I drove him to court, but before we took him to court, I made sure that the judge would know that this man had served his country. Yep. He didn't ever ask any question. He did what he was asked to do. Right. And he tried to get into the VA. He was put on a waiting list. Okay? The judge dropped the charges. So I took him back home with me, and he got into a program for substance abuse for 3 months, and now he just passed into the PTSD program, 90 days. I'm praying that John is going to be okay. He wants to help other vets. Most of them do. Most of them are eager to help out, to be there for one another. And this is what Veterans Village is about, veterans helping veterans. Yeah. Nothing is impossible. We are doing it, and we better finish it.
Yes.
Okay? You can go online and check www.veteransvillage.org. You will see the details there. We have a large center opening in Minnesota right now. We have another one in New York, a little smaller. We have one in Humboldt, California, 24 acres of redwood and land. Our children are tomorrow. Ignore them, and we will not have a tomorrow. It's very clear.
To protect the life we're all traveling. To protect the life. Truly a cappella now! To protect the life we're all traveling. To protect the life.
For about 4 years now, we've written legislation that says this. This is not using the initiative process. It's using Americans writing their own laws and trying to be lobbyists to get Congress to pass the law that we think is better than what they're writing. And it says this, it says if it were introduced in this Congress, it would ramp up over 7 years by about 140,000 Americans per year, until by the 7th year you had 1 million Americans voluntarily serving at home or abroad in their choice of such organizations as Peace Corps, AmeriCorps, Habitat, Doctors Without Borders, Head Start, Red Cross, International Rescue Committee, Oxfam, Mercy Corps, and State Conservation Corps, with a mechanism in the group that allows other smaller organizations to be added to that list. So each year it builds up until by the 7th year you have 1 million. Then the legislation says you cannot sunset this legislation for 20 years. So in 27 years, you have 21 million Americans that are working on the next Katrina, working on the next earthquake that hits California, working on the next hurricane that hits the East Coast, and rebuilding homes and lives, and working with kids in poor communities, doing Head Start programs. It's the components in today, you know, what we refer to in this as, you know, we need another army. But it's not another 1.4 million military guys, and the military guys like this. There's literature on the table, my card's on the table. It's just www.worldservicecorps.us. There's a petition there that people can sign, and I appreciate your time.
Y'all sing that with me now.